Hi, it's that Ben guy, and I wanted to talk about some games that I'm going to be selling off from my collection. I usually like to keep my collection at about 120 games, keep it fairly tight, but I've crept up to about 135, and so it's time to start purging, primarily, to make room for stuff that I know is coming in through Kickstarter. So the first is this Small Star Empires, which I did get as a Kickstarter. It's a great sci-fi based game where you have these little ships that are sliding around a randomly composed star system, and it's kind of chess-like in that you're trying to block each other and do a little area control. It's got some great expansions with give you asymmetrical powers and some technologies, but unfortunately it's just not hitting the table, and as much as I like it, I think it's time for it to go. Another Kickstarter that I'm getting rid of is this City Builder Ancient World, and it's a tile laying game, and I love tile laying games, so I was excited about this. It had a very interesting mechanic where you're competing against the person on your left and your right to gobble up these little buildings, and you're trying to get them before they can get them. So I really liked that. And the tiling itself was fine. Again, it had some interesting mechanics with buildings that you can add on to score you endgame points. But unfortunately, it's the tiles that are the actual problem, in that their artwork is just very hard to look at, hard to read. And I played it with my family. They did not really like it, just all due to that reason. So for that reason, City Builder's got to go. And unfortunately, I'll probably take a bit of a bath on recouping the cost from the Kickstarter. Another one I'm getting rid of is Arkham Horror, the card game. Now, this gets a lot of love, and I picked it up as a solo board game because I love horror-themed stuff. I especially love Cthulhu and Lovecraftian mythos, but it's one of those, every time I've gone to set it up, learn the rules, it's just like, I think I'll go play some other solo game that I already have. I tend to like miniature solo games more. So just because I haven't had the willpower to power through learning the rules, I've decided to give it up. And speaking of Mr. Cthulhu, I am also going to be getting rid of Pandemic, Reign of Cthulhu. Now this one I've tried to sell off a couple of times, and just nobody's been biting, and I don't think I'm overpricing it. I do like the game. It's an easier version of Pandemic, but my wife prefers normal Pandemic, and don't feel like I need to have two Pandemics in my library, so it's gonna go. Another one that's going is Core Worlds with the Galactic Order expansion. Now, Core Worlds is a sci-fi based deck building game. I do like it, but I don't love it, and that's mainly because I'm not huge on card games or games that are primarily all cards. I tend to be a bit of I like bits, right? I want to push some wood around the table. But this is a good deck builder, especially against sci-fi theme, which is something I love. But not hitting the table, runs a little longer than I would like. I really do like the Galactic Order expansion. I wouldn't play it without it, which gives you your cards generate tokens, which then you can cash in those tokens either for endgame points or to give you one-time bonuses. So don't really want to give it up, but I got to make some room, and it's just not high enough priority to keep. And then the last one is Cry Havoc, which I'm also having some heartburn over getting rid of. This is a game that I've played probably 4 times, although only twice have we actually finished the game, so it does run a bit long, and it's just one of those where, game night had to come to a close and we weren't done yet. I love the asymmetrical powers, the miniatures are fantastic, it's a great fighty, dudes on a map game, area control, but one of the things also is that one of the factions, the blue faction, these snake guys with lots of arms, they tend to just generate points really fast, and it just seemed to me like they are the clear winning tribe. And of course, I only play the robots because I think their miniatures are really cool. So I left a little bit of a bad taste. I am going to try and give it one more play before it goes on the for sale list. Just maybe that's going to convince me to hold on to it. Probably if I win. But as of right now, unfortunately, Core Worlds has to go. that's it. That's what's currently going out the door. Thanks for watching.